Do you guys think that the first answer is correct or the second answer is correct?
First, second. First. I mean the first one.
You think the first one? Okay, why do you think the first one?
Because 15 plus 3 is 18, and 18 plus 18 is 32.
Okay.
18 from.
Because he said that 18 times 2 means the same thing as 18 plus 18. Okay. Does anybody think the second one is correct? Okay. Why do we think the second one is correct? People who answered that.
3 times 2 and just add that with 15.
Right. Okay. So you guys added first. He multiplied first. Does anybody remember what our rules are in math that tell us what order to go in? PEMDAS. Right. Right. Okay. So that's what we're going to write down over here. But in PEMDAS, what's going to come first? Multiplication or addition?
Multiplication.
Multiplication.
I don't know why, but I was thinking 3 times 2 is 16, so then I just did.
Gotcha. So we are going to do the 3 times 2 first. 3 times 2 would give us 6. And then I would add that. 15 plus 6 would give us 21. Okay, so that's why this one is correct and this one is not, right? Because you want to do multiplication before addition, right? Okay, so now that we kind of have remembered that that's what we need to follow for our order, let's fill these in. So you guys said the first letter was P, right? In PEMDAS, what does P stand for?
Preference.
Very good. Okay, and remember parentheses would look like this, right? Maybe you have like a 2 out here and an X plus 2 on the inside, right? So you do what's inside the parentheses first. Or maybe this says 4 plus 2, right? You do inside the parentheses before what's on the outside of the parentheses. Good. All right. Next letter in PEMDAS would be the E, which stands for
Exponent.
exponents. Nice. And what is an exponent?
A little tiny number.
Yeah. So maybe I have 3 squared, right? That little 2 up there is an exponent, right? An exponent just means we multiply whatever the base is times itself that many times. So here we would be multiplying 3 times itself. Okay. All right. What about our next step? Multiplication, right? What is the D for? Division. So multiplication and division are actually going to be on the same level together, okay? The way we decide if we should do multiplication or division first, if they're both in the problem, is we just work left to right, like we're reading the book, okay? So on this level, we would have multiplication and division.
It doesn't matter which way you go.
What do you mean?
You did the multiplication before the division.
Only if you went out of order from left to right. So let's say you had an equation that said 12 times 2 divided by 4. Okay? So when I'm reading this, I read it like a book. Okay? The first thing I come to is the 12 times 2, so that's what I'm going to do first. But if it was the other way around, I would do the division first, just because it's the first thing I come to. Okay?
Yeah, I usually did multiplication.
So we just always want to work left to right if there's both. Okay, so if they're both in there, we work left to right. Okay? So what would our step 4 be? Very good. And again, the way we decide which one of those we would want to do first, if they're both in the equation, is we just work from left to right, like we're reading the book. Okay? Sounds like a plane taking off. Okay. So now that we know this is the order that we need to work out in. Let's apply those to a few examples, okay? So looking at number 1, the first thing we're supposed to look for is parentheses. Do you guys see any here? Okay, so we don't need that. Next one is exponents. Do we see any of those? Okay, so we don't need that. Next is multiplication and division. Do we have some of that? Okay, so the way we decide which one to do first is reading it left to right. So what do I come across first? Right, so that's what I'm going to do first. Okay, so what is 14 times 3? Good. So I would rewrite this now. I'm going to have 15, bring down that negative. You guys said that this part right here becomes 42, and then we have divided by 6. Okay, so we're still on multiplication and division. Do we have any more? No more multiplication or division? We got division, right? Right here. So that's what I'm going to do next. All right, what is 42 divided by 6? Good. So I bring down my 15 and my minus. You guys said this became 7. And what is 15 minus 7? Perfect. There's 3. Okay. Alright. So let's look at number 2. On number 2, we got stuff going on in the top and in the bottom, right? So we're going to take care of everything in the top and everything in the bottom before we try and put them together, okay? So in the top, what do you guys think we should be doing first? The multiplication, right? Which one are we going to do first?
2 times 7.
Right, one on the left. So 2 times 7 would give us, good. And then we come to our, right, all over that 30 minus 29, right? Okay. Now in the top, what do we need to do? Add. What is 14 plus 15? 29. Okay. In the bottom, what do we need to do? What is 30 minus 29? Right. And what is 29 divided by 1? Okay. Alright, once you've got those, go ahead and flip it over onto the back, and let's look at example number 3. Okay. On number 3, what do you guys think we should do first?
32 exponents.
Exponents, very good. And we are going to work left to right, so we are going to deal with this exponent first, the first one we come to. Okay, so 3 to the second power, or 3 squared, what does that mean?
That's 3 times 3 times 3.
Right, it means times itself that many times. So in this case, only twice 3 times 3 is, in fact, 9. That becomes 9. Okay, are there any other exponents to deal with? Okay, so now I would do this one, all right? So what is 6 squared? Very good. So this is going to become 36. And now I'm going to bring everything else down, okay? So I bring down my times 10 and that minus. And I'm going to bring down my divide by 12 out here on the end. Okay? All right. So now with what we have left, what do you guys think we should do next?
9 times 10.
Very good. Multiplication starting on the left. So what is 9 times 10?
9.
Good. Minus,
36.
which is nice. Okay? So all that's left to do here is subtract, so our answer is very good. Alright. Okay, on number 4, what are we going to do first? In the parentheses, right. So inside the parentheses, I've got 2 times 3, which is good. Okay. Alright, I'm going to bring everything else down.
exponent.
Right. Exponent would be after parentheses. So, what is 3 squared? 9. So this becomes 9. We bring everything else down. Okay. Now what? Multiplication and division, and we work left to right. So first thing we come across right here, what is 16 divided by 4? So I got 4 times 9 minus 6 times 6. Okay. Now what should we do? 4 times 9, which is very good. So I got 36 minus 6 times 6. Multiplication, what is 6 times 6? And what is 36 minus 36? Very good. Okay. Okay. On number 5, what are we going to do first? Multiplication. So, left to right, first thing we come across is that 2 times 7, which is
14.
very good. So I got 14 plus 5 minus 3 plus 6 times 5, which is 30. Okay? Alright, so we took care of multiplication. What do we do now? Addition and subtraction. So again, we're going to start from left to right. Alright? So what is 14 plus 5? Good. I got 19 minus 3 plus 30 plus 3. Alright. And what is 19 minus 3? 16 plus 30 plus 3. Okay, what's 16 plus 30?
46.
Yes, very good. And what is 46 plus 3? 49. Okay. Nice job, guys. Alright, we got one more left. Okay, again, we've got that fraction, right? So just like last time, take care of everything in the top and everything in the bottom before we put them together, okay? Alright, so we're only going to worry about the top right now. Okay, so in the top, what am I going to do first?
10 plus 14.
Right inside that parenthesis, we have 2 plus 14. So, I'm going to leave everything else as it is right now. So I got 20 minus 4 squared divided by, what is 2 plus 14? Good. Okay. Plus 5. All over that 4 squared minus 13. Okay. Okay, now that we have done that parenthesis, what should we do now? Right, the other parenthesis, that bracket. Okay, so inside that bracket, we've got 2 operations, right? We've got an exponent and division. Which one of those am I going to do first? Exponent. So, 20 minus, so we said we would do the exponent. What is 4 squared? Right, 4 times 4, nice. Divided by 16 plus 5 all over. We got another exponent here in the bottom, right? Again, 4 squared is 16. Okay. Now that we've taken care of the exponents, we're still inside that parenthesis, right, or those brackets. So what is 16 divided by 16? 1. So I have 20 minus this whole thing just became 1 plus 5 all over 16 20 minus 1? Good. I got 19 plus 5 over 16 minus 13. Alright, what is 19 plus 5? Good. And in the bottom, what is 16 minus 3? Okay, so now we're left with 24 over 3, which that bar is division, right? What is 24 divided by 3? Perfect. There's our solution. Alright? So, whenever you get your assignment, I want to see that you followed all these steps, okay? So I need you to write what you get after you do the first rule and what you get after you do the second rule. That way I can always check your work, okay? Alright.